Jonathan with Iron Mind Hypnosis here. There's a great asymmetry in life. This asymmetry, and there's probably more than just this, but is with how the amount of effort and time that it takes to do things for someone. A lot of times, properly crafted, something that we do for someone else, especially if we're well skilled in that thing, takes less effort than doing it for ourselves. Such that providing a gift is often more enjoyable than paying our own bills. Paying our own bills are typically the thing that we do for our own good because we've made our own choices. And we all have some sort of burden with that typically. At least at some point in our life, there's some expenses that we're going to find ourselves paying for our stuff, whether it's just getting by or something that's a splurge. But very often, creating something for someone else, whether that's splurging and purchasing them something for a birthday or a holiday or something like that, or just because, can feel a lot nicer than doing the same thing for ourselves. And likewise, if you're creative, if you have the skills or are interested in creating the skills to maybe knit or sew or paint or garden or cook, bake. Maybe you're a handy person and repair is your thing. The things that you can do to help other people, those things often take less energy. Now, that is of course contingent on there being things that are well enough within your realm of ability. If they're far enough outside what you can do, they become a challenge, a real challenge. And if you're in the mood for a challenge, that's perfect. If you're not, it can be demotivating. The point of this asymmetry is that thanks to specializations, thanks to the fact that we all have different skills, different gifts, different things that we're good at, our burden is lighter thanks to other people. Because there are people in any operation, any business of very much size at all, there are going to be people with different specialties within that business. Some businesses like to cross-train people, so there's some interoperability there, some understanding. But typically you'll have people who are in charge of getting the word out, people who are in charge of providing the service or creating the product. You'll get people who are in charge of the money, the accounting, people who are in charge of closing the deal, the sales force. You'll have people in charge of making sure that these operations are working well within themselves and working well together, the management structure. You'll have people in charge of greater strategic aims. That's typically going to be your CEO or a board at a larger company. Now, here's the thing. Very rarely, in a business of much size at all, is any one of those people going to be able to do all those things. And even if they are, they're unlikely to be able to do all of those things as well as each of the people specializing within it. Even if you have a CEO who's worked his way up from beginning decades back all the way to the top spot, even if they're familiar with all the things, they're unlikely to be able to do the accounting as fast as the dedicated accountant. They're unlikely to be able to manufacture something, even if they've manufactured it in decades past, as fast as the person doing that job now. Even providing a service that they grew up providing from years back. Even if the CEO has done every job in that business, they're unlikely to be able to provide it as well as the people in it. And even if they are, assuming that the CEO is by far the most competent person in that job at every task that happens in that job, fastest, highest quality, just absolutely best. If that CEO, that president, that commander of the operation, that leader, spends their time on things that are appropriate for the accounting department to do, the procurement department to do, the service department to handle, whatever the other job task is. That is time that the CEO, the president, the leader can't spend doing those things that he or she is uniquely good at. And that's why they need a company. They need people to be there when they can't be there. People to do things when they have other more important things to do, or things that they're just the only person for. That's why we build companies, is so that we can have the benefit of more than one person. We can build whole systems, and systems can be machines or systems can be people. Oftentimes they're a little bit of both. To do things that no one person could do. And likewise in families. Yes, very often, one person can live a life that's got many of the great things that we want in a life. Usually, though, most people don't find their best life living as a hermit, perhaps eating locusts in the desert. That sort of austerity measure is good for some on certain paths. Most of us, that's not the right path. And a lot of people, thanks to interactions that have not gone well, find themselves on a bit of an austerity path, a bit of a hermitage sort of path, while still being surrounded by people that for whatever reason they just can't seem to find a way to open up to fully, to depend on, to interdepend with. But they're missing out on the asymmetry that allows two people or three people to create more than one person plus one person, or one person plus one person plus one person. There are very few, even large companies, that can go from the raw material that is the earth, and whatever part of the earth they engage in, to extract 100% of the materials they need for every part of their business, and turn that into the final product. Now, it's not hard to create a business that creates a product. These days, an internet search will reveal somebody who can do most parts of the job, supply the raw materials, supply the tooling, the equipment, and help to sell on those things. But one person, even one company, even if they're very large and very well financed, and perhaps they're in the business of paper products, and they've got a very large cultivated forest, and it's sustainably practiced and all this wonderful thing. But people need their paper products for the lives they're going to live. People need structure to build their houses. People need toilet paper. And so, doing their thing, they harvest a portion of the forest and they take it to their sawmill and they turn it into the boards or the paper or the paper products or the tissues. And then they sell that on to a wholesaler who will sell it to a retailer. But even within their business, even a very large business like that, well resourced even, is unlikely to decide that it's appropriate for them to build their own computers, create their own operating systems. The company cars should be company cars. They're not going to purchase from Ford or Chevy or even Tesla. They're gonna they're gonna pick Forest Industries or whatever their name is, and they're going to design cars that are just perfect for their staff. No, that's not the way it happens. We each have things or things, a thing or things that we are specialized in. And some of us are generalists and do many things competently. And some people are specialists, focusing on one or two special things that we take special pride in. But none of us get through living in this world all by ourselves. So, knowing that and knowing all the research on how much better and happier people's lives are, even longer, in fact, lives, for the people around them. How do we go about, especially if we've had bad experiences, learning to work with, learning to live with other people? I'd like to invite you to take a deep breath if it is safe and appropriate for you to do so. No power tools, no driving. If it's safe and appropriate for you to do so, take a deep breath. Close your eyes and exhale slowly as you let tension wash out of your being, wash out of your body. Every breath helps you to relax more deeply, tension washing out of your body. Peace and comfort and relaxation. Because you can relax, and because you can relax, you can also enjoy peace as a byproduct of the comfort that you are finding in your own body. The surface beneath you will support you, keep you safe. The sounds around you can help you focus on this experience. And my voice will go with you wherever you go. And every breath helps you to more fully enjoy this experience. Every breath. Last vestiges, traces of tension washing out of all the places that it used to be, replaced by relaxation, comfort, and peace. Now, it might be possible that you have some holdout tensions or discomforts, bits of physical unpleasantness to you, and you can invite them to leave, to evaporate or move elsewhere. And they might disappear or fade, or it might be appropriate for them to continue, for them to just be, and you can just let them be, knowing that comfort and relaxation in the rest of your body will be perfectly fine for now. Every breath, continuing to deepen this process. That's right. And your mind can drift and dream. The past can be on hold. The future, a million miles away. All the worries, they can take a little break. If they're important, they'll still be there for you later. This time is just for you. And perhaps you can see a vision of a child. And children can have many different personalities. One might be more somber or serious. Another might be playful and upbeat. Some children prefer to be on their own, and some children prefer to be with others. And wow, very often these ways of being are typically expressed over long periods of time. Most every child will have different levels of energy at different times. Perhaps throughout the day. Perhaps they're very energetic in the morning. Or perhaps their time of greatest energy is in the evening. Perhaps it's in the middle of the day. Most children will also have a time at some point where they're lower in energy. They might even take a nap. And while some children find their energy fluctuates, they usually don't think about it. Plan how to use that energy productively or strategically, so that at times they're upbeat. They engage in upbeat things intentionally. And at times that they're more serious and introspective. They do more serious things. Likewise, some children will only sit on the edges of a room or at a distance from other children playing. Yet in certain circumstances, those same distant or aloof children will be very vocal, very happy to interact with people. Typically, it's people they know better, know well, have a longer history with, people they can trust. And they can trust themselves around to have good interactions. And there's a funny thing about children who typically don't interact with others. They typically sit on the sidelines. Researchers have discovered that even children who are socially isolated isolate themselves and don't feel that they have a way to contribute, a way to interact positively with a larger group of kids. Can, in the space of only 20 minutes, be shown something as simple as a video of children very much like them, with hearts similar to theirs, moving and approaching the larger group, being brought into playing with the larger group. And while it seems that sure, a temporary change is easy to make, the researchers noticed that these same children were often found to be more social than the average child in the group. Even months down the line. That a child can go through life curious for what will happen next, what they can learn from any situation, trying to get their needs met. And of course, children have many needs. just as adults do. They need sustenance, food, water, nutrition. They need clothing to protect their body from the elements. They need shelter, a home, a physical place to sleep. They need safety, the ability to let down their guard, at least some of the time. They need connection, another person in some way to connect with in a real way. So many needs, from the very physical need to be fed, to the need to be safe, all the way to the need to express themselves, create art, drawings, sculptures, perhaps play with blocks or stories, creating a special world of their own and sharing that with others. And as a child goes through life, they will offer so many gifts to those around. And it's possible that a child will create a sculpture of clay or Play-Doh, and that somebody else might come along, perhaps another child or an adult, and that other person can be so grateful that they created this sculpture just for them. Or that other person can be confused what to do with a sculpture like this. It's possible that they didn't realize they needed this thing, or they don't know where to put it, or they don't know how to care for it properly, even while recognizing its beauty. And obviously, the child would want nothing more than for their creation to be properly appreciated, loved, and for other people in the world to cherish that creation forever. And sometimes that's exactly what happens. And sometimes a creation is offered, and no one knows what to do with it. No one maybe even recognizes it as the work of art and love that it is. And sometimes children with a need for approval who aren't having that approval need met will look for the approval and the approval of their art, their sculpture, the craft they've created. And sometimes that same sculpture, craft, creation can merely be an act of expression that, of course, they would love everyone to know and enjoy. But sometimes it's perfectly fine to create something that nobody knows how to use. And it can just be an offering, a gift. And it's perfectly fine for a gift to just be given or even just offered. And for the other person to not know how to accept that gift or appreciate it fully. There could be 1,000 reasons why a beautiful gift, a work of art, a thing of beauty, would not find its best home with the person it's intended to be received by. Maybe they don't know how to reciprocate. They don't have something they feel as beautiful to give back. They don't know where to put it, or they don't know how to care for it. But that's not going to stop a child who wants to express their love, their creativity, their little voice from creating and sharing those things they've created. Now, it's true that not everyone will appreciate the things they share. And some people may very much not appreciate those things. But if they share their creations, their imagination, as free gifts with no expectation that they could be loved or they could go unloved, that art is just art. Something done extra just because it's an expression of the child's soul. And it can stand all on its own as that beautiful expression. Whether it gets placed in a museum or in a park, on a street corner, on the mantle, in a home, your refrigerator, or is carefully filed away. And sometimes a piece of art can be created even painstakingly, knowing that all things are temporary. And this piece of art is exactly that. Certainly, when a cook or a baker does their art, they understand that the pasta is not meant for posterity. The noodles might be absolutely perfect, but their time on this earth will be much less than an hour. In fact, for the cook or the baker or the candy maker, they actively want their art to be used up, destroyed utterly. And that's the only way their art can do its job. Some types of art are best held in museums for posterity, for the ages to look on year after year. And some are only for this moment, the moment of their creation. And they would actually be less if they survived. But each of these things is an act of art, a special gift, extra energy, extra heart, extra soul from their artist, whether that person considers themselves an artist or not. Art is to do anything extra just for its own sake or for the love of others. And you can drift and dream. Let your mind wander wherever it goes, wondering what gifts you might be pleased to offer and pleased all on the offering's sake, creating largely just for the honor of creation. And if there's a way that that creation can help another person, then so much the better. And if nobody knows how to use that yet, that's still a beautiful thing. Now, in a moment, I'll be counting from 1 to 5. And when I reach 5, you'll be fully wide awake and alert, ready for the rest of your day, ready to carry on, ready to inject small little offerings of art or big, beautiful projects. A little extra effort here and there, and eager to receive whatever little things you notice that others have done that they didn't have to do. 1, noticing the chair beneath you, the surface beneath you that supported you. 2, eyes clear, mind clear, sinuses clear, throat clear, voice clear, lungs clear, feeling good. 3, moving your fingers, moving your toes, a little bit of action there. 4, big stretch, deep breath, letting that energy giving oxygen fill your body, flow through your blood and your tissues to every part of you. And 5, wide awake, fully alert, feeling energized and curious. What's going to happen today? In what ways can you impress yourself with your own self-expression? The little bit extra that you can do for yourself, you can do for the universe, you can do for the people in your life. Whether it's loved or it's not, the fact that it's loved in creation can be enough. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.